urban landscape design. So this is my book, but is incomplete documents, because before I came back to Malaysia, I trying to do kind of um, documents, or kind of a library of urban landscape design in Tokyo, because I stay for a couple of years there, and I like to walk around the city. And of course, Tokyo is very busy very busy city. And if you can see from this Google Earth image, um, I'm not sure whether this is snowing or not. So this is at the Tokyo station, right? This is Tokyo station, very big. Um, and what you can see there, last time I asked you to do urban landscape townscape analysis, identification. So I think you also can just focus on the streetscape. For example, if you take this this area, I'm not sure why. Maybe you can see snowing there in Tokyo. Okay, uh, so you can analyze the streetscape. For example, the plaza. Then you can see the elements like lighting, seating, trees. Your friend can walk around it. Some water feature maybe. So this you can take just one area there, and from there you can analyze a bit on the streetscape design at this particular area. Same like here example. So even you can take a photo on the vertical grid, the trees, the plaza, the square. So this is example. I'm very familiar with this place because last time I think this area is very convenient to walk. Mostly you can see many cars there because of people in Tokyo using the train as part of their public transportation. So you can concentrate on the urban streetscape. Yeah? Let me put it here. So you can also search or do some quick research. What is urban streetscape or urban furniture? Yeah? Urban furniture. So I already put there in the chat box. So you can take, for example, one area. Then from there you can just take a photo. The identify about the urban landscape elements such as the pavement, lighting, the vegetation. Right. This is we go to the basement because they have a walkway on the basement parking. They have a kind of mall, but I'm not sure whether you can see. All right, this is an example. So from there you can identify the streetscape such as the zebra crossing, the vegetation, the pavement, the blind code there, right? Maybe you can find some water feature at the bridge, maybe. So this is something that you can railing. This all the urban street furniture, the shelter. So you go there to take a photo, then you can comment some of it, right? So even you can take a photo on this urban space, like Pocket Garden, Pocket Space Plaza. Okay, so this is just an example. So over here, maybe you can see more. This is Urban Square. Why we call it Urban Square? Because this is a square that enclosed by building. Let us see. Okay, maybe from this angle. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see this is Urban Square. So you can take this space of this area, example, in KL or in Penang or in Kuching, Sabah, wherever. Then you can start analyze the space and also design like this. You can take a photo, right? So you can find out, for example, a pavement lighting, urban lighting. You need to study as well in the maybe in the you need to find out what is an urban streetscape. Okay, so for example, this is a photo to show the combination between show here. So you can see sitting, you can see the vegetation, trees, right? Maybe you can find out the dustbin, the bus stop. Yeah, this is just one example. So I'm very familiar a bit. That's why when I was study in Tokyo, I like to walk in the city center to find out some landscape there. Uh, Landscape furniture because they have many interesting space. So for example, like in the Shinjuku. So Shinjuku is one of the business district area. There are many skyscrapers there. Okay, so that's what the you can see like this. So this is the one of the area of the streetscape, right? So this is the digital board, I think. So you can see the landscape over there, right? So even the signage, the traffic light, yeah, pavement, the bicycle rack, and then the signage. Even there are many type of signages. Okay, so this is one example. Not sure what is that. It's very interesting vegetation. The combination of shrub and ground covers. You can see with the bamboo railing. So this is a kind of how we normally involved in the city planning, especially as a landscape architect. That's why in this book, um, this is all my photo. You know, when I walk around the city, I compile all this urban furniture because there are many kind of type of facilities. Even you're talking about benches, there are many that you can see this for 3 or 4%, for 1% in combination with lighting. You know, this is some example. And uh, sitting, even when we talk about sitting, there are many type of sitting areas in the city areas, but you just choose one area, then you analyze it, right? This is some example. So you can take photo, you can comment on it. Yeah, not just about sitting, but also including a lighting. So even you're talking about sitting, there are many type of sitting, right? Sometimes it's combined with other landscape features such as lighting, trees grating like this. You see, there are many type of signage. Oh, sorry, the sitting areas, and this is signages. So I want you to take a photo like this. Okay, so you just focus. Maybe you can take a photo of the surrounding areas, and also you can take a photo very close up to the feature that you want to highlight it. This is example of signages. So even talking about signages, there are many type of signages. Some signage shows direction, advertisement, right? So, even like this, they show the direction. Okay. Then the promotion of the shop for the advertisement board. So this is another example of signage. So I want you to take a photo like this, and you can take the surrounding areas of that particular elements, and also you can take a close-up photo. Example, this is to show the pedestrian, this to show the signage that combine with the lighting. So it depends on how you want to say. or what the things that you want to highlight it in the photo, right? This is example of the pedestrian bridge example, yeah, and the signage of the location, signage of the owner, the buildings, ownership. So I want you to take some angle like this. Even if we can find the sky bridge that connected one building to another building, you can take that photo. Even below, pedestrian bridge can avoid conflict between pedestrian and traffic. So you can explain it like that, the kind of statement. This is another example, urban cityscape in Tokyo. Uh, Including bridge, including benches, public art. Yeah, so this is a type of public art in the city. So like this, for example, is combination of street art and also sitting areas. So this is also a combination of between street art and sorry, the public art and also the sitting area. This is what we call the urban street furniture or urban scape. So you can find out the pavement as well. Lighting. This is a type of pedestrian bridge. I think there are many like this in KL nowadays. So this is an example of the you know, sculpture or what we call it a public art. So even including the vegetation like vertical green, green roof. So this kind of angle that focus that what do we want to highlight in our profession. So there are two parts. One, you want to really focus on the elements. Another one, you want to focus on the area that you want to say something about it. Example, like you want to talk about plaza, square, pedestrian, courtyard, right? And another thing that you can highlight is the activities of people over there. What they do, what kind of activity that you can see and on the site. So this is another example. So you can see this is the potted plant, planting. So there are some planted on the on ground or in the planter bed as well as in the planter box. So you can you know show some of the landscape image through various type of angle and interpretation. This is again in the city of Tokyo. You can see that looks like a building. Actually, it's a service service compartment. So they put all the rubbish and some facility amenities there, and they're covered by the plant. So this is about some about planting, water features as well. So of course, in the city, you can find out many type of water features. So you can uh, highlight in the assignment of that particular area. Can you see the documents, guy?
Yes.
Even you can go at night, you can see the lighting effect. So this is the how you interpret the urban landscape design in your assignment. Very simple. So go identify the area, then choose a place, then you just observe and take photo, and then you can see some. You can put some analyze, right? So this is the pavement, even pavement type of pavement for the traffic coming, for the urban connection, for the focal point, right? Okay, and the urban lighting. So if possible, you make company with your friends or your parents. You can come and take uh, you know, uh, photo at night, right? Instead, or you go there alone. So you can also analyze the urban space at night to see some of the landscape features, because urban landscape is not just about see during the daytime, but also in the evening or night time. So this is kind of the urban lighting in this one of the city spot in Tokyo. This book is almost done, but unfortunately I cannot finish it. Is we I finished this in 2010. Actually, I want to continue to write up some text, but I'm not sure. Maybe there are some features already changed, so that's why I just create and maybe share as one of the reference is in my lecture. So you
Yeah.
can see this is type of urban lighting. There are many type of urban lighting: lamppost, floor light or flashlight. There are some also what they call it, the uh, ball light, the floor lighting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
What is the difference of the street lights and urban lights?
it's the same.
It's the same. At
Yeah, there are many
Turkish
type of
place, we call it
urban
urban
lighting.
lighting.
Urban lighting. Yeah, the street light also consists of various type of lighting. For the street, they use a different kind of lighting type, as well as the amount of illuminance, and also for the pedestrian. So what you
Mm.
can see there, example, even to highlight some the feature wall, the walkway, to ensure the safety and security for people.
Uh, so is
Okay,
there is no different
no,
from the one yang
yeah,
ada tepi jalan tu.
yes, street lighting, including almost similar with, I think it's the same with urban lighting. Urban lighting also highlight whatever spaces that around the city.
Okay.
But of course, that you can see this is urban lighting like for the waterfront, right? But this is not a street light because this is not a street; this is a walkway, right?
Mm.
So the location of that particular lighting are not located along the street, but actually it's along the waterfront. So we call it urban lighting. So you
Oh.
also can use that in your assignment. Just take a photo. You can comment on it, right? So
Okay.
this is all my photo when I love to walk around the city, and this is the best that I can compile and just share. I don't know, maybe some of the features already still there, or maybe it's already changed. I don't know because it's already 10 years. But you can see it's very interesting. Every corner that we walk around it, so not just during the daytime, but also in the night time. So how the landscape can play around to highlight some features there. So this is another example. So a public space. So you also can analyze and talk about the space. You have a cityscape as an element that you can highlight, and also the space that you can find there. Example, the pedestrian, the courtyard, like I said to you, the square, urban square, the plaza, right? Okay, this is another example of public space in the city of Tokyo. Just now I'm talking about elements, the waterfront. So you can see the public space like the covered pedestrian, the walkway, the waterfront, and the riverfront. Mostly just next to this canal or river. And also you can find, for example, the area of the courtyard with some urban furniture such as the sky bridge. You can see this bridge connected between two buildings, sitting with the water features. Yeah. So this is kind of example, conservation of the urban development. Okay, just to share with you. So I think that you also need to really focus on what do you want to highlight in the poster or in your presentation. You want to highlight for even buildings. Talking about buildings is very interesting as well. For example, different kind of facade to make a more pleasant environment. Yeah? So you also can highlight it. Yeah. This is some of the urban scape in the city of Tokyo. So you can see these ground covers. Yeah.
So you mean that what the building can also be one of the in
Yeah. Sometimes the building is actually the building is part of the townscape.
ah
But we're talking about street furniture. They are different. Furniture, you see the furniture of the street along the street or the urban furniture. But
so the
building is one
building
of
is
the
not
townscape.
building oh
Yeah,
townscape. Okay.
yeah. Building is one of the building is not a furniture. Building is a townscape
Uh,
because building will give you some character, some impact on the visual. If you can find, for example,
mm,
this interesting building, so you can take a photo and you can you know comment on your in your presentation. So this is an example of the area of Odaiba. It's very interesting. I tried to find out this in Shinjuku just now. This is street lighting, urban lighting, almost similar. Okay, that's just to share with you. So maybe I will uh, let me stop sharing this. I think I want to share about the streetscape a bit. I forgot where I put the. Sekejap Give me a minute.
all right.
Gone already. Okay. Okay, let me continue this. Okay, let me share back. So this is one of the example at one area in United States. Uh, so streetscape urban design elements in this particular town. So basically, the design element also will follow some areas, like I said to you, the sidewalk, the plaza, square. And what are the elements? Basically, you can find out like seating, trash bin, public art, screening, fences, even lighting, planters. There are some movable, some raised planters. So you can give some comment. Pavement, yes, some pavement they have a pattern, kind of pattern. So this example of the this particular town. So this is what you can see from here, the furniture that support activities at the sidewalk of this particular zone. So you can see the planter box, the pavement color, and the seating. Even you can see the different type of seating, the curb, the feature wall, the lighting as well. So you see, when you see the feature in the urban areas, so one you take a photo, right? Well, another one you see from above. So whereby you can see the how the setting of the particular elements, especially like this example in the corner. So what are the purpose having? Maybe to slow down the traffic, to give more priority for pedestrian. So this is how the landscape treatment can be. For example, giving an priority to the uh, pedestrian, and also for the disabled people. So this example of the some furniture, trees and landscape. So now you can see the various type of combination of the element there. So I want to take a photo and give some comments, your comments on the particular. photo. So for example, the planters, talking about movable planters. So what's so interesting about this? So they have one single planter, they have different type of planter, and they have also a group of planter or decoration urn. So this is some of the uh, type of planter box. Okay, the raised planters, even the public art, the sculpture, the seating arrangement. So you can see the seating with the wall around it, the change of level. This is the seating together with the tree grating. So you can comment, yeah, cycling rack. Hmm. Okay, is there any question about it?
Mm,
So this is your assignment, your urban landscape design assignment, right? Very clear, isn't it?
yes.
So I want you to identify, to recognize some of the urban design, urban landscape element, hardscape and softscape. Yeah. Even you want to you want to draw the layout where the to show the arrangement also is possible. It's no problem. So normally you can find out the streetscape or street furniture along the way, along the road between the building and the roadside.
So for our assignment, do we need to separate streetscape and the
No,
furniture
no need. In
just
just one.
space?
Yeah, you can combine all.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Even the for example the kiosk, yeah. So you can highlight also. Right. So
Mm,
this is part of the seat furniture or streetscape as well. The bus stop, okay, tents, shelter. Yeah. So a feature wall, a pavement. This is some example of this particular area. Just now I show you in the city of Tokyo and also this city. So basically you can find out. Hello. Okay. You can
okay.
find out all the features. Then you just highlight in your part of your presentation.
All right.
All right. Any question?
So we also can comment about the pavement, right?
Yeah, the pavement, color. Even don't forget about colors, visual.
Uh,
So I want you to not criticize, but giving your opinion whether the one is good or not. So right, it's not necessarily all the photo that you take in a good condition, but maybe you can highlight some negative comment and some positive comments. It depends on the material that you analyze it.
okay.
Okay, so let me stop this one. So you can see in this uh, wait, let me share it again. So I think there are many street furniture in KL, in the big city, yes, but in the small city, maybe like Seremban, maybe not so many that you can find out. So this is another example. So you can see the combination between railing and cycling rack.
Yes.
Now our government encourage people cycling, but you need to find out, for example, the space for them to uh, uh, to buy in the good condition, secure. This even if you can find out some parking box, the payment box, so you can highlight it there.
All right.
This is in the for the bicycle station and the covered the canopy. So the way that you present also very important in order for you to compose it well or the material in A1 size. So it's not just about, you can see the many type of cycling rack. So this is one of the design they already installed aside. Even the feature wall, yeah. This is one of the street furniture as well. So you can see, you can find out that there are many types of the cycling rack, yeah, the cycling stand. Okay. Bollard, yeah. What the purpose of bollard is to control the traffic coming into the site. So maybe you can highlight the type of bollard. Maybe there are some bollard together with the lighting, and of course that uh, to allow to prevent the pedestrian uh, or uh, to to uh, giving kind of the barrier for the traffic that not coming in to that particular zone. And this element of water feature, uh, seating. So I want you to compose and to look this as part of the urban landscape design element. So that is the main focus in your assignment. Lighting, like I said to you, feature wall. Uh, some they are in small structure, some in the like big structure. For example, like bridge. Uh, I'm not sure you have or not the sky bridge. The connection of the MRT example. Maybe this is a public transportation, yes, but you see the structure. Maybe some of the space underneath of the bridge, you can find out some landscape. They plant underneath of the structure. So sitting areas. So you need to have a plan, a map. A map will describe the whole arrangement of that particular facilities. This is another example. So for example, this is the map to show the layout and also the landscape. So you need to have a map and also the landscape feature. Yeah, this is another example. So you can zoom in to show up some detailed elements such as the structure of the seating, structure of the water. Yeah.
What about the texture?
Yeah, the texture you can find out from the floor finish and also seating. So you can
Mm.
also explain it. Yeah. For example, if they use rough structure or cobblestone for the pavement, you can comment. It's not big issue on it. Like this one is urban lighting again. So you need to have a map like this, a map. Then you start walk around, and identify the townscape as well as the urban furniture. This is one book, so that's why it's a lot of data here. Design. So it's necessary for me. So this is also quite interesting. So sometimes it can be part of the public art to make more creative uh, image, but also can function as for sitting and also to grow trees. This is example of drinking fountain. Nowadays, many drinking fountain all over the world, especially at the open areas. So we need to have a map like this, simple map. Then we need to have a photo and description. Okay.
Okay.
So you can find out what is the ship furniture. You need to read, and you need to start on compiling all the features that you found out from your study. Uh, okay, we let us take a break for 5 minutes because I need to get some water. Then we will come back around 3:45 or 3:46, 7. All right, thank you.
Right.
Okay, gentlemen, can we continue?
Yes, sure, Prof.
Okay. So this is a bit on the seat furniture and the seatscape that I just share with you. So you need to also search what is the urban seatscape and what is the urban. Actually, it's almost same as the urban seat furniture. Then this is part of your assignment. Then the last assignment that I need to give to you next week before because we don't have a final exam. So Alhamdulillah, I think that is no big issue. So we just have assignment that to test your understanding on the introduction of introduction of landscape architecture. So let me continue on uh, public park because I will give another assignment based on the public park. Not today, next week. Okay, let me share back my slide.
I have another question, Prof.
Yes.
For the commenting, we need to comment the streetscape and the furniture or everything, the elements in the
Mm.
area, right? So
Yep.
can we like kait dengan COVID-19 situation?
No problem. It's okay. It's good.
Hmm.
You can comment, give ideas. No problem. I want you to critique.
Okay, okay. So based on the current issue, we can
Yeah.
kaitkan lah.
Yeah. Yes.
Alright, alright. Okay.
Okay, let me continue about public park. I think last time I mentioned some of the important elements in the because park have many type of parks, right? Community park, urban parks, regional park, right? Regional park is more bigger, right? It's actually is quite large areas shared by some precinct or district. Urban park is located in the urban area, especially in the city center. For example, like Colombo City Center, Central Park in New York, uh, whatever parks in the located in the city. Pocket park, urban pocket park is located at the some corners or areas, small areas in the city. All right, this is a urban pocket park. And people also can will call like community park. They're located in the within community areas, neighborhood at the neighborhood area. The neighborhood park is smaller than the community park. So basically, parks are much depending on the type of parks, users, site context, function, and also activities. There are some park we call it like forest park. So nowadays is very famous. It's kind of trend. People like do camping activities in the forest, in the coastal, in the beach areas, right? So now they are kind of a trend to develop kind of a nature park. We have the nature park in our country, but there are a lot of exploration, especially on how we can access our natural forest to become a park. Because park, when we say park basically function for public that can come, can enjoy in the various type of activities. Not necessarily to have a big group, but some park, especially in nature park, they must have control on the capacity of people coming in. Otherwise, it will give a significant impact to the habitat or any living things in that particular areas. So this example of the one of the feature. So you must understand that when we want to design a park, what is the function? What is the elements that can support various type of activities? Sometimes we need, of course, a pleasant environment, enjoy environment, attractive environment, right? But don't just focus on people only, but you also need to consider, for example, habitat, birds, butterfly, insect. So all these are part of the ecosystem in the park, and not just for uh, having say having said for common people, but also for disabled people as well. So last time I already explained about tents, lighting. This is the element in the urban, of course, like before. Uh, bes- in your assessment of the street furniture or streetscape, you are identifying and recognizing the urban landscape element in the city. But in the park also same. But of course, in the park we have more freedom to have a kind of features. For example, like the playground. Maybe you can have some sport court in the park, such as the tennis court, basketball court, example, right? Fitness station. So we don't have a fitness station along the street because of the uncomfortable environment and setting. But in the park, that's why the function of the park to make the environment more conducive for people do variety of activities such as maybe jogging, walking around, yeah, chatting, picnic, yeah. So they are a kind of a space that can provide a multi-purpose activities, but it also depend on the facilities there. When we design, also not just see the place in the during the daytime, but also in the night time, evening time. Because especially in Malaysia, people like do some outdoor activities in the evening, in the early morning. So lighting play also very important role in in order to create a safety and security environment. So when you introduce features in the park, you not just about you know that lighting is one of the component that we need to propose. This is our role as a landscape architect. So we need to choose a right lighting, for example, to highlight this kind of canopy, to show up the roof structure and the column with the flashlight, the floor light you can see, and also the some medium spotlight to highlight the trees and the vegetation around it. So this is depend how you as a designer to see a certain setting at night, because the mode of the visual are much different when we see the feature during a daytime and when we see the feature during evening or night time. So that's why lighting is one of the important element that you need to consider when you design a park. There are many type of lighting, but you need to choose a right lighting, right location, right what you call it illuminance that to show the structure, and also light composition as well. Other than that, the signages, like I said to you, so this is also design. You need to come up with a special design. Of course, there are many type of signages in the template, in the booklet. But as a designer, you design a signage that related with your concept of your development. Okay, for example, you want to design a nature park, so maybe with a concept of habitat, concept of leaf, you know, green. So this become your concept. If you design kind of the sorry, if you design a children park, so maybe it's trying to make your signage become kind of like a playing stuff example that can make interaction between users and the elements. So whatever you design actually is must you must carefully understand about the concept and the context of the park, right? So every park they have a different type of function and also different type of purposes. So this is need to consider this as some example, including, for example, at the location, the map of the park, you know, maybe the information about some features in the park. Yeah, this is just some example. So this is one of the component that commonly you can see in the park. So when landscape is not just about designing a space, designing activities for a zoning system, but also to design the landscape elements such as the hardscape or the composition of the vegetation soundscape is part of the important in how you create more fascinating environment to the visitors of that particular park. So this is some example of the signage in this particular park, including the vegetation. So you can see the composition of plants. So you need to organize, well organized, where you want to allocate some cluster of trees, where you want to maintain some trees in the park. Example, you are not take off all the plants. So some plants you can, some existing plant or existing trees you can maintain there, and some you can highlight with some, for example, ornamental plants in the park. So vegetation play, of course, very important, especially in the tropical setting, to give a more cooling effect, not just in the park, but also to the surrounding context. Okay, there are many type of park, like I said to you, urban park, community park, national park, right? So even there are some theme. For example, the forest park in the city, water park, they have some theme. So like this is an example of the piece of memorial park in city of Hiroshima, and you can see that is the museum. So that is the museum of the Hiroshima, the atomic bomb tragedy, and that is the kind of plaza that shows how the respective elements for those who are pass away based on this tragedy. So you can, this is another type of parks. So even this in the urban areas, but the team are much giving sign of respect for the uh, those who are die based on this tragedy of the atomic bomb. So this is the central spine that connected the old building of this, then the museum. So we can see some of the features that shows even the building was very humble, with the landscape that portray some image, some of the character of this memorial park. A time. So even this is the new structure, but the concept shows the time that really how it's happened, when it's happened, when they dropped the bomb to the city. This is a children peace monument. That's why when you want to, when you have a theme of the park that you want to design it, so the design element must follow to support the character. So for example, you want to design a memorable park, so that the landscape features, the detailing should support the character of the landscape that you want to portray there. And this is the monument in memory of the Korean victim of the atomic bomb. And you can see the turtle that faces in the direction of Korea, of the country of Korea, and the home, because it is the homeland of the victims. And this is the how the remnants of from the bomb, atomic bomb, is still left. So it's part of the conservation and heritage of this particular park. So there are some park that they have a specific theme. For example, the Memorial Park, Independent Park, right? Uh, what else? So even the theme park. So every park they have certain theme of it. So you can see this is the Sinopep is the kind of memorial, the kind of grave to remember those victims who have passed in this tragedy. So you can see the strong spine that connected the view from this point to the buildings. This is the Hiroshima Prefectural Industrial Promotion Hall. Uh, you can see still exists the structure, but most of the building that were located around it already gone. So you can see when you design of this space, you must consider. No, you don't need to have a lot of elements there, but giving kind of a mood giving a respect for those die, of this tragedy. And as part of it, this is a kind of another theme park. It's not a theme park that people enjoy, but the concept that belong to the nature park. this island is a mangrove located in the west side of Johor. It's very interesting. So it's an island that um, consists of mangrove forest. This is 90% mangrove, and they built the structure and the landscape that to explore this island because they are so rich with the habitat. But like I said to you, when we call a park, it's something that we need to attract people. We need to have kind of facilities to support people activities. This is the small town of Kukop, and it's connected with a boat into come by boat from this jetty. This is all the rumah rakit or the fisherman, the rough house, and this is some of the elements that portray a certain character of the. Can you see my slide move? Hello,
Yes.
is it my slide move to another slide? It's
No, right
okay.
now it's at Nature Park Pulau Kukup.
Oh, so I need to escape this because okay, that's the Pulau Kukup. That's why if you come, if you have chance, come to the campus so we can have a physical. So maybe we can go and visit some places. Because landscape, when we study about landscape or in built environment, we need to explore by ourselves. Otherwise, it's very tough and very hard to understand it. Uh, so when we design, we have a concept of this forest park. So the structure and the design also trying to represent certain symbol. For example, this shelter representing of shell, the habitat that easily. This is the concept of this telescope shell for this shelter. So uh, you can relate back, the structure and the design ideas based on the certain living thing that you can find out over there. So this has become a part of the identity of the park. So what I want to say that when we design, we must really consider the existing character of the place. Even some of this, it's not just about having interesting to see around, but also you can have some signages like I said to you before. The signage can also explain certain information that can be part of the education to the public that based on this asset that you can find out here. So this is another kind of interesting for me design whereby you need to walk along this wood step then before you reach at this timber deck over there. So it's not necessary to have concrete structure. So sometimes you can be part, the design can be part of the natural concept. But again, that sometimes you also need to consider maintenance. But of course, is really value of my cost of money. But again, the character, the design ideas must be strong enough to support the landscape activities there.
So what about the safety?
Because this is not so the- not so high. It's just I think 200 or 300 400 mm. So
Mm.
it's not so big issue because this is a bit muddy, but I think it's not a big issue on the safety here.
Oh, okay.
This but this you can see the difference is this signage a bit for me not really much match with the surrounding. I think I more preferable kind of more natural kind of concept rather than you have a concrete you have, but this is fine. But this is just for one of the element that can be part of the design elements in the park. Even you can find out, for example, the boardwalk. It's not easy to maintain. You can choose also the what you call the composite material. It's almost similar concept with the timber or wood, but it's more long lasting than using really 100% timber because it's not easy to maintain it. Some already broken. You need to change. You need to maintain all this kind of material. Designing a park also you need to consider the surrounding asset, including the habitat, the wildlife, right? So even the visual, the plants also can be part of the interesting to be seen and also to be part of your design that you can integrate it. This is just one example, some of the landscape element in this public park. This is my student before, so they look very happy. I took them to here. You can see the Taman Negara Johor. I see the Kukop. You can see the signage behind it, using very natural kind of uh, uh, piece of wood that already old. So they reuse back this feature to become a part of the signage there. So this is interesting in Penang. This one of the just now we see the nature park in the in the Kukop Island. It's mostly covered by mangrove forest. Then here is interesting to see the high end land to this habitat Penang Hill to bring us to see around the existing national forest as well. You can go to the, I think it's not so expensive for students, it's just 50 ringgit, but you can also visit the website. It's very interesting. This is the concept. The purpose of the park is to have kind of a research activities, the conservation of the natural forestscape, to make a more balanced, sustainable tourism. They already gazetted this area become one of the ecotourism, and also the existing green, when they preserve it, become a part of the green education to next generation, school students, college students, and to the public. So when you design a park, you must also consider the purpose. What are the purpose when you want to design the park? Is it just for public? Is it just a specific idea, specific framework that you can contribute to the green development example? So of course, when you talk about the green, we need to have facilities to support people walking, people access, right? But you can also blend whatever that you suggest, the elements that can be integrated with the surrounding concept. So accessibility is always important. How you bring people from one place to another, and how they can explore the park. So this is again one of the amphitheater there. They use for the small briefing when they have a group of visitors. They will sit there, and at the same time they will attend the briefing from the this tourist guide of this habitat, the habitat. So you can see some of the interesting setting that can make people closer to the forest. Example, the walkway, the some corners, sitting areas. This is one of the longest Burton walk that bring people more closer to the trees canopy, and also to see the surrounding of Penang. It's very interesting. One of the, I think, um, for me, very comfortable to explore the forest. So you can see this is some of the facilities that can bring people from one place to another, and and trying to avoid some harms to the natural setting, especially when they build this. So that's why you must plan carefully when you design a park. What are the target? What are the purpose? And how you can contribute to the sustainable development. And always think about when you design a park, it must be something that you can share the information to the public or to the visitors, especially how we can educate people on some data that you find out from your study, and you publish in the context of public or open information. So this is some of the feature. Like I said to you, the concept of this also must be related, because when we talk about the forest park and how the design or the concept ideas that related to the theme. So again, that I think information is very important. We also must need to educate our people on whatever that we can find out there, because these are all conservation of the habitat and the living things that already established in the site. So the signage also we need to design, we need to propose, and we also need to know where we need to allocate all these kind of elements in the park. This is some example. Even the history, you can see the previous photo to show how the walkway already exists in the few years back. Because of the plantation, or not because of the plantation, because become a small road for local people to use, but now they preserve as part of the natural landscape. So this is all of even the sitting areas, for example, it's not they chop off the big trees and they make this as a sitting, but this are all dead trees already. What can I say here? Already gone. So they use this as part of the landscape elements. Part of it they become a sitting areas. So this is viewing deck, the 360. You can see around the hill. So this is one of the highest point there. So this is also you can see the view of this very interesting. How we bring people to go and to look around. This is kind of how we market our park so special. So we need to design something that can giving a great memory to the visitors. Nowadays it's very simple. People taking photos, publish in the Facebook, publish in the Instagram. There are so many social media nowadays, and easily can attract people coming in, and easily also can be part of the promotion, right? Not necessarily just for television, radio, but it's very easy from visitors photo. When they publish, it can be seen in thousands of people. So this is very powerful tool that can attract. That's why we design. For example, this is the view from the observation tower. You can see the Penang Bridge over there. Yeah, this is the Penang Bridge. This is the Penang Bridge. You can see the Georgetown, and you can see another part of the island. Okay, this kind of another. When we design a park, also we need to consider some material that can fit, that make people comfortable to walk around it, right? Maybe there are some part you can control, you can allow disabled people coming in, but there are some part maybe it's difficult for them to access. So at least you need to consider the OKU people or disabled people also have some chances to come in and enjoy the park. So this example of the signage there. Retaining wall, there are some structure maybe you can recover instead of open the structure, like maybe the retaining wall, concrete wall, stone. Then you can also reorganize with some planting there. This is what I said to you before. I mentioned before. There are some plug or symbol that you can apply in this based on the flora and fauna that we can find it in this particular park. Even not just about the landscape facilities, but also the cafes, restaurant, right? How you blend with the natural setting. Okay, this is the nature park, the memorable park, and this is the community park. This is our project. We developed this slide in Malay. We developed this in 2017 and completed in 2018. I'm one of the designer of this community park located in the Tamarinting group of housing there. So the purpose of this to create a sustainable public park that they also can involve in designing and plan and also implement some of the landscape feature there. So you can see Dr. Farid also with me. So this is a presentation made by our students. So we present to the community there, right? To the these residential areas. So we also involve them in our planning. So this is part of the local agenda 21, whereby we integrate the aspiration from the public to our design. And this is some of the activities in this community park. So we bring them to uh, uh, establish some ornamental and shrub, and in this nursery organized by the local authority, municipal council of Pasir Gudang, right? Then later after it's already established, we transfer to the park and planted by the community. So this is the site, and you can see around it is a housing. This is the community park because this park actually shared by several type of community there. If you find this green area, this is a neighborhood park. This is a community park. The one is bigger. So this is the original site. You can see the green is already there, but they have some water lock there in the middle of this site. When the heavy rain, you can find water a bit. Then the rest is no such facilities to bring people. They have this walkway, but not all. There are some parts still empty. So that's why they want the local authority. We have to be signing the MOA with them, the memorandum of action. So they give us a chance to design this. So I'm Dr. Farid, the coordinator. This is the existing football field, and this is the surau, the musalla, and this is the part that designed by our students. This is all their illustration. Yeah, not by myself. This is I just coordinate. Yeah, but we have a group of students there doing a real project. So again, the section to show some environment that can be improved based on the certain development. So this is just some of the section to show up the proposal, and you can see the before and after. This is the existing. So planning to establish this to integrate the new development there, a space, a stage, and also the walkway. Actually, I changed a bit the design in terms of the form, but at least our students already come up with the ideas. So this is the image of the extension of the playground. Of course, when we talk about community park, so we need to consider the type of communities, right? In the various type of users, for example, children's, elderly, community, right? Community normally consists of various type group of people. Okay, this is how we see the site. So this is some of the proposal to have a cafe, a kiosk cafe. The environment of just this morning I show some of the presentation technique. This is part of the presentation. So you can use a location plan before and after as well. So the Laman Radar, the fitness station. So you can see the overall view, and in the middle here is a central plaza, and over there you can see the open stage. So when they can also have kind of event, they can organize it, and also the stage can be part of the platform that can create a various type of activities. So this is the view of the proposal, and we start working on the how we organize the place. So we examine the place through using a drone technology. So we want to ensure this is very easy to monitor because we use a drone speed to make sure the shape are correct, the position, all that. So this is how we uh, always discuss at site with the client, with the contractor to ensure our development. So we're using a drone and we see how then we straight away discuss on site. So Alhamdulillah, after a year, this project is already completed. So this is the view of the park. You can see the stage up there with the yellow painted on the floor, finished. And this is the entrance. It's not a big project, it's small, but it's 200 over. So you can see this is the view of the Central Plaza, and this is the stage. Yeah. So you can see the before and after. This is the uh, after the project completed. You can see that's the form pattern. So that's why how the landscape, from the concept of the painting on the land, how we play color form to the site. So you can see this is the before the development, and this is the after the development. Of course, that with the small budget, we're trying to give more opportunities in terms of how the extension of the space. So this is some existing. This is not the model. This is the real view of the park when the park already accomplished. So you can see this is the pattern. So that's why we analyze and we check, thoroughly with our drone technology. So this is something special to give a kind of a new landmark, ideas, iconic form, a simple form, but I think the color make this area more contrast and attractive to the public. All right, I think one of the important, talking about public park accessibility and circulation is, I think, one of the main strategy that you need to consider. Even the park, how they can organize the program, the management system. You must develop a design strategies to attract people in various season and time. Of course, sometimes we need also allow flexibility in design. Maybe the design also can adapt some changes later on, acquire diverse funding sources, for example, to develop a park from the public, from the local authority, yeah, maybe from the company in the industry. We need to consider the parks, inner park and outer park. So means that the internal area and also the external, how the park can be integrated. The successful of the park also depending much on how the uh, uh, integration, the effective integration between the park and the surrounding. Provide amenities for the different groups of people using the park, create attraction and destination throughout the park. You must, like I said to you, consider the identity and image, character, landscape character of the park, and also create a place making and sense of attachment of the place. So I think that's all as my extension input on the public park to all of you. Is there any question from you guys?
No, Doctor. All clear.
All right. Okay. Lim Zing Yu, are you there? Amin Nolizan? Dah tak ada dah. Amin Nolizan,
Yes.
is there any question?
No, not
What
yet.
do you think about public park in Malaysia? Especially the
Um,
part that you already visited.
I think one of the park that I already visited is at Ipoh, which is Padang Polo,
Okay.
and also Bulatan Amanjaya.
All right. So what do you think about it?
Uh, I think uh, it's okay, but has more potential. I think.
Okay.
Yes.
More potential. All right. So how about Nadira?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah. What do you think about the park in Malaysia now?
So I think most of them
Especially okay, community park in Malaysia.
our community park. Okay, for example, my nearest community park, which is at the boardwalk, I think. Yes, that's near my house. Setu boardwalk. I think there's so every park have the same element, so macam tak ada kelainan, there's no something that
Right.
unique in Malaysia. So when I do some research or macam search on the internet about the urban landscape or whatsoever, I think Malaysian punya apa style macam semua sama and not up to date.
Okay, yeah.
In
I
the
agree with that.
yeah.
Yes, some part maybe the design are not so much unique, right? And
Yeah.
different from one part to another part, isn't it?
Yes. Macam we can see it here when I go to KL, for example. I already saw that in my village or in my area. So macam it's kind of boring sometimes when we go to the park and we don't know what is the uniqueness of the
Uniqueness.
park. So
All right.
that's my point of view.
Thank you. How about Maisara? Maisara, what's your point of view, Maisara? about the public park in Malaysia?
Yes,
Or
Doctor.
what do you think about public park in Malaysia?
Uh, I went to Taman Botani Negara Shah Alam,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of functional areas there. But one thing that I think it is quite lacking is the vehicle road. They didn't divide for the for orang yang naik basikal and dengan for the main vehicle, so it is quite dangerous.
Okay, good. How about you, Isfar? Isfar, how about public park in Jeddah or in Saudi? Isfar, are you there?
No, Isfar is not here, Doctor.
Oh, it's not here. Okay. Okay. Actually next week I will give you an assignment, the last assignment. But you can start thinking for this week to choose your own park. Okay. The park that you can visit. I want you to study about the park, and you can same with the group work in the cityscape in your urban landscape design. So you just choose a one park that you think that you can highlight in your final assignment. Then you need to prepare not more than 4 HC size. Then later you can upload. So I will give you a guide next week. So but now you can start thinking a part that you want to you want to study. You can highlight some important things there, and you can find many things that you can share. Right? Please choose a part that you can share a lot. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Something that we can see interesting. Of course, not all, but at least we can learn and see some input that you can provide later on based on the part that you choose. All right, I think that's all. Let me again open up this your attendance code. Oh, I need to type things here.
Doctor,
Yes.
when is the due date for the group assignment and also the individual assignment?
The group assignment I give you 3 weeks. I will the assignment of your final assignment after your portfolio. When is your portfolio? When is your portfolio date? Do you know? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. A week after portfolio, your final. That one is individual. Okay. Let me open up your. Okay. Let me share. So before that, thank you very much to everyone for today's meeting. So later on, I will upload some slide to you. Okay, let me share your attendance. Thank you very much.